Hello students, I am sure you have gone through the first 3 sessions related to formulas in straight lines. Let us look forward for the first session and the last session, right, which will sum up the all required formulas for +1 and +2. Alright, so let us move forward and see what these formulas are. Now, to explain to you, the first formula which will come across is perpendicular distance. Perpendicular distance of point P x1 y1, perpendicular distance of point P x1 y1 on the line, right, of point P x1 y1 to the line ax plus by plus c is equal to 0 is modulus of ax1 plus by1 plus c by under root of a square plus b square. Right, now what is this? There is a line here whose equation is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. From this point x1 y1, if I am dropping a perpendicular and if I want to know this distance, then this can be found out by this formula. It is modulus of ax1 plus b1, means you substitute this point into the equation by under root of a square plus b square. So this is called the perpendicular distance of a point P to the line ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. So please draw the figure and copy it, and meanwhile we will go for the next formula, which is distance between two parallel lines. Alright. Yes. The distance between two parallel lines ax plus by plus c1 is equal to 0 and ax plus by plus c2 is equal to 0 is modulus c2 minus c1 by under root of a square plus b square. This is the formula. What do you understand by this? Let us say if there are two parallel lines given to you, and if I wish to find this distance, then I have to apply this formula c2 minus c1 by under root of a square plus b square. Now there is a chance that students will get confused. You know where? Here he will not give you parallel. They will be parallel, but he may give you like 3x plus 4y plus 5 is equal to 0 is one equation, and then he will say 6x plus 8y plus some 12 is equal to 0, another equation, and he will say these two lines are parallel. How will you say these two lines are parallel? Parallel lines, they only differ by constant, their homogeneous part should be same. So here you can see this homogeneous part and this homogeneous part is not same, whereas here and here the homogeneous part is same. So this formula is applicable only when their homogeneous part is same. However, they are parallel. Right now here these two lines are parallel. So what I need to do? I need to balance their homogeneous part. Means either I multiply the first equation with the 2 or I divide the second equation with the 2. Right? So if I multiply or divide the second equation with the 2, what will I get? 3x plus 4y plus 6 is equal to 0. So this is one line and this is one line. Then I am able to apply the formula. So please take care of this note, this small thing, and then try to apply yourself when you are dealing in problems. Now let us try to go for the next concept, which is very, very important. All right. Right. Foot of perpendicular. Foot of perpendicular. Now what is this? Let me explain to you. If there is a point x1, y1, for this point, if I drop a perpendicular on the line ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, right, and this point happens to be the foot of this line, and this point, if it is h comma k, then there is a condition, right? Let me explain to you this by a sentence. If h comma k is the foot of perpendicular drawn from point x1 comma y1, drawn from point x1 comma y1 to the line ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, to the line ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, then the condition is h minus x1 by a is equal to k minus y1 by b is equal to minus of ax1 plus by1 plus c by a square plus b square. Now this condition will be satisfied if h comma k is the foot of the perpendicular drawn from point x1, y1 on the line ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. So in your regular class, this can be a theorem also, we can prove this theorem, but right now we are dealing with formulas, only the conceptual part we are going to handle. Now meanwhile, you can pause the video and copy this, try to draw this figure, we'll go for the image formula. Yes, children, image formula. See how simple it is, certain things I have kept like that only. What is image formula? If, let us say there is a line whose equation is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, and there is a point x1, y1. For this point the x1, y1, this distance should be equal to this distance, is it not? When you look yourself in front of a mirror, if you are 5 feet away from the mirror, your image will appear 5 feet inside. Your image will appear 5 feet inside. If you are approaching the mirror, the image will also approach the mirror from the other side. So these are of equal distance. So if x1, y1 is a point and the image of this point x1, y1 is h comma k with respect to the line ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, then what is the condition? So let me write the statement. If h comma k is the image of point x1, y1 with respect to the line ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, then the condition is h minus x1 by a is equal to k minus y1 by b is equal to minus of 2 into ax1 plus by1 plus c by a square plus b square. So there is a minute difference between image formula and foot of the perpendicular formula. In image formula, this minus 2 will be added, whereas in foot of the perpendicular formula you do not have that minus 2. So please make sure that there is a point A, its image is B, and if this is the point, this point will be the midpoint of AB, because this distance will be equal to this distance, and this acts as a mirror. This line acts as a mirror. That's why we say with respect to the line AX plus BY plus C is equal to 0. So I'm sure you understood this particular formula and you are ready to apply that formula in the concepts. And meanwhile, you pause the video and copy the formula. We'll go for the next concept. Orthocenter. All right, very important part. You may get a 4 marks or a 7 marks category question. Orthocenter. Now what is orthocenter? I will declare. An orthocenter is point of intersection of altitudes of triangle. An orthocenter is the point of intersection of altitudes of a triangle. Now, what do you mean by altitudes? Let us try to understand what an altitude is. For example, if I take ABC as a triangle, ABC as a triangle, and from this vertex if I drop a perpendicular to the opposite side, that is called as altitude. So what is the definition of altitude? Altitude. Right. It is the perpendicular drawn from vertex to the opposite side of a triangle. So what is this altitude? Altitude is the perpendicular drop from vertex to the opposite side of a triangle. Now how many altitudes you can draw? Definitely, because you have 3 vertices, 3 altitudes can be drawn. So this is second altitude, and again from here to here I can draw altitude, third altitude, and you can observe that they all meet at this point, and this point is called as orthocenter. Usually orthocenter is written as capital O. So how do you find orthocenter? Orthocenter is the point of intersection of altitudes of a triangle. Now you may get a question in the examination to find the orthocenter giving the vertices of a triangle. So when vertices of a triangle are given to you, how do you find the orthocenter? Please try to understand. When vertices are given to you, you must assume this as a D, you must assume this as E, and you must assume this as F. Your job is to find altitude AD. Your job is to find altitude AD, and your job is to find altitude BE. Alright, now once you find AD and BE and you solve, then what you get is a orthocenter. Now how do you find altitude AD? Very simple. A vertex is already given to you. Your job is just to find the slope. So how will you find the slope of AD? first find slope of BC. When you find the slope of BC, you will get the perpendicular slope of AD. Now once you get the slope of AD, you already know the point A, use one point formula, solve and get the equation of AD. Similarly, when you are to find BE equation, you already know B, find the slope of AC. When you reverse the number and change the sign, you will get the perpendicular slope. Once you know the perpendicular slope BE, you have the slope, you have the point, apply one point formula, you will get the equation of altitude BE. Once you know altitude AD and altitude BE, you are going to solve this, and when you solve, what you get is the orthocenter. Alright, so there will be two kinds of problems where first kind of problem where the vertices of the triangle will be given to you and you are supposed to find the orthocenter. We have told we will find altitude AE, AD and BE, will get the answer. Other kind of problem is he will give you sides of the triangle. He will give you sides of the triangle. When sides of the triangle are given to you, your first job is to solve the respective sides 1 and 2, 2 and 3 and 3 and 1. Get the vertices. After getting the vertices, follow the same procedure. You will be able to get the orthocenter. So you have to understand what is orthocenter. Orthocenter is the point of intersection of altitudes of a triangle. What is an altitude? Altitude is a line drawn or a perpendicular drawn from vertex of the triangle to the opposite side. Am I clear to you? That's how you are going to find. And a small note, remember children, if you have a right angle triangle, this is note is very important. For a right angle triangle, for a right triangle, this is A, B, C. Now this is an altitude of ABC. If I take BC as the base, BC will be the altitude of triangle ABC if I take AB as the base. So AB is acting as one altitude, BC is acting as one altitude, and where are these altitudes meeting? They are meeting here. So this point is called orthocenter. This point is called orthocenter for right angle triangle. So how do I define? So for a right angle triangle, the point where the angle is a right angle is a orthocenter. For a right angle triangle, this vertex where the angle is 90 degrees is a orthocenter. Straightforward question. Alright, so I am sure you have understood. You may pause the video, copy this and write that note, and then we'll go for the next concept. Circumcenter. Circumcenter. What is circumcenter? Let me explain to you. A circumcenter is the point of intersection of perpendicular bisectors of sides of a triangle. The point of intersection of the perpendicular bisectors of the sides of a triangle is called circumcenter. Now let me say this triangle ABC. Now this is a side. For this side, if I take the midpoint and draw a perpendicular, this perpendicular need not pass through vertex. It may go through some other place. But this is a perpendicular, and since it is bisecting, this is called perpendicular bisector. Next, I again drop a perpendicular. They are meeting here. From here, midpoint, I drop a perpendicular. So all these perpendiculars are meeting here, and this point of intersection is called circumcenter. And circumcenter is denoted by S. Alright, circumcenter is denoted by S. So what is circumcenter? It is a point of intersection of perpendicular bisectors of a triangle. Now what do you mean by perpendicular bisector? What do you mean by perpendicular? Perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector is a line which will pass through midpoint of the side and perpendicular to it. A perpendicular bisector is a line which will pass through midpoint of the side and perpendicular to it. It is a line passing through midpoint of the side and perpendicular to it. That is called orthocenter, and they all meet at one common point called as circumcenter. Circumcenter is denoted by usually S. Now one very important note is there which I will be using is when A, B, C are the vertices of a triangle, then if S is the circumcenter, if S is the circumcenter of triangle ABC, then SA distance will be equal to SB distance, and that is equal to what? SC distance. So this is a very important note which you will remember, and this note will help you to find the circumcenter. So SA is equal to SB is equal to SC. Now how will you find circumcenter? First you will take SA is equal to SB. where S is some x comma y, and you will get an equation in terms of x and y. Next you will take SB is equal to SC, you will get an equation in terms of x and y. Now this equation in terms of x and y and this equation in terms of x and y, you will solve and you will get x is equal to and y is equal to. Therefore, x comma y, a circumcenter is obtained. Let me repeat, you will use the first condition SA is equal to SB, you will get an equation in terms of x and y. Use the second condition SB is equal to SC, you will get another equation in terms of x and y. Those two conditions you solve and what you get is a circumcenter. So that is one easier method of solving a circumcenter. Otherwise, find this equation, find this equation. How will you find this equation? Take the midpoint, take the slope of BC, reverse the number, change the sign, you will get the perpendicular slope. So you have this point D, you will get the equation of SD. Similarly, find point E. What is E? Midpoint of AC. Once you have midpoint of AC, find the slope of AC. Reverse the number, change the sign, you will get the perpendicular slope. With that slope and this point E, you find the slope equation of ES in using 1 point form. So solve SC and SD. Still you will be able to get the circumcenter. But perhaps I will recommend you to do this methodology in order to find the circumcenter. Very, very important, very interesting. I want you to pause this video, write this note, and then we'll move for the next concept. In-center. We have discussed orthocenter, we have discussed circumcenter, now we are discussing in-center. What is in-center? An in-center is the point of intersection of internal angular bisectors of triangle. So point of intersection of internal angular bisectors of a triangle is called in-center. So let me take triangle A, B, C. Now for this angle, this is the internal angular bisector. For this angle, this is the internal angular bisector. For this angle, this is the internal angular bisector. They all meet here and this point is called in-center, denoted generally by I. So in-center is the point of intersection of internal angular bisectors of a triangle. Now there is a formula to find the in-center. If triangle ABC is given to you, I will say in triangle ABC. If length AB is equal to C, length BC is equal to A, and length CA is equal to B. If this is A, this is B, and this is C, these are the lengths. And what is A? X1, Y1. What is B? X2, Y2. And what is C? X3, Y3. Alright, X3, Y3. In triangle ABC, with AB is this, BC is this, CA is this, and A is equal to X1, Y1, B is equal to X2, Y2, and C is equal to X3, Y3. In center, I is given by the formula AX1 plus BX2 plus CX3 by A plus B plus C, comma AY1 plus BY2 plus CY3 by A plus B plus C. So this is the formula you will apply in order to find the in-center of the triangle ABC. But what is the condition? The condition is you should be provided with the vertices A, B and C. Once you have given the vertices A, B and C, I will find distance AB using distance formula. I will call that distance AB as a C. Then I will call distance BC as A and distance CA as B. That is the distance, right? So I should measure like this as C, and then you just substitute into the formula. What you get is a in-center. Remember children, in-center is the point of intersection of internal angular bisector. Now why am I specifying internal angular bisector? Because for a triangle there will be 3 internal angular bisector, and for a triangle there will be only one in-center. For a triangle there will be only one in-center. Now there is something called as X-center. Now let me make you understand. This is triangle A, B and C. Right? This is the extension of the line. This is the extension of the line. Now this is the exterior angle. This is the exterior angle. Now this is the exterior angle bisector. This is the exterior angle bisector. They are meeting here. Now this point is called as X-center. What is it called as what? X-center. For a triangle, there will be one in-center and there will be 3 X-center. How will you get this X-center? You will extend this. You will extend this. This is the internal angle bisector. You will extend this. This is the internal angle bisector. They are meeting here. So this is called as E2. This is called as E1. And similarly here, they are passing here from here. Similarly this point, this is called as E3. So for a triangle, there will be one in center, but 3 excenters. All right. And if you draw a circle taking the center as incenter and circle touching the sides of a triangle, then this is called as incircle. What is it called as? Incircle. So what is an incircle? Incircle is a circle with center as a incenter and radius is equal to what? Radius is equal to perpendicular distance from this point to any side. Then such a circle is called as incenter. For a triangle, one incenter and three excenters will be there. And what is incenter? Incenter is the point of intersection of internal angular bisectors of a triangle. So I am sure you understood this. You pause the video and meanwhile we'll go for the next concept and a last concept for the straight line. Right. Centroid. Maybe I have already discussed in centroid in the previous sessions, but again it is very important. So let me discuss centroid with you. What is centroid? Centroid is the point of intersection of, centroid is the point of intersection of medians of a triangle. Point of intersection of medians of a triangle is called centroid. Now what do you mean by median? Let me make you understand. Suppose I have a triangle ABC. Now they have this point as midpoint and I join with this vertex. Then AD is my median. So how do I define? Median is a line joining midpoint of one side to the opposite vertex. Median is a line joining midpoint of one side to the opposite vertex. This is the technically correct definition. Another definition is a median is a line which will divide the triangle into two equal areas. So this is also a very good definition, right? But for us what is required is median is a line joining midpoint of one side to the opposite vertex. That is called median. So midpoint of one side to the opposite vertex is called median. Midpoint of one side to the opposite vertex is called median. Now DEF, so it is AD, BE and CF are medians and they are all meeting at this point and this point is called as what? Centroid. And centroid is usually denoted by G. Now there is one more very important note. A centroid G divides the median in the ratio of 2:1. A centroid divides the median in the ratio of 2:1. A centroid divides median in the ratio of 2:1. And if there is a vertex given to you as x1, y1, b, x2, y2 and c, x3, y3, then centroid G is given by the formula x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3, y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3. So very simple straightforward formula for this centroid of a triangle. I am sure you understood these formulas. There needs lot of practice, children. So please go through these formulas and write it on the paper once. Once you write, then we will be able to have the clear picture. And please follow our YouTube channel regularly and more frequently for more and more updates. Thank you, take care and bye-bye.